What up everyone, it's your man Xman87 here, bringing you another Marvel Legends video, and what I have for you today is the Amazon exclusive Marvel Legends Supervillains 2-pack of Madam Masque and Crossbones review. Before we get into everything, if you could please leave a thumbs up, like, rating on the video, it'll help show your support for my channel and I greatly appreciate it. Now with that said, let's freaking go! Alright, it's no secret, you know I've said before that Madam Masque is one of my favorite female Marvel villains, so I'm excited to get an updated figure of hers. Just to give you a quick briefing on this version, Whitney Frost is Madam Masque, though her real name is Julieta Nefaria, daughter of the Masque family crime leader Count Nefaria. This is a modern look of the character during the Magic Curator story arc, where her scarred face was healed by her boyfriend, the Hood, when using an Infinity Stone, the Reality Stone to be specific. And yes, I said stone, not gems. Marvel retconned the name, and they now go by stones and are no longer referred to as gems, so don't come at me for thinking I said it wrong. Take it up with Marvel if you're an angry comic purist. Even though her face is completely healed, she continues to wear a gold mask. Sporting a new look and a new mask, Madam Masque is on a quest in collecting mystical items such as stealing the Wand of Watum from Latveria in Castle Doom to amass magical powers. And I don't mind this modern look in figure form because there was two Madam Masque versions I wanted in Marvel Legends. One, of course, the classic comic one, right? And then this modern comic one, I wouldn't have mind either. So I got one out of the two. Of course, I want the classic one more, but I'm not gonna complain about this one either because she does look pretty damn good. Just as long as they still give us that classic comic version, I'm good with it. Here's a closer look at the head sculpt, and the most important thing to get right on a Madam Masque figure is her mask. I mean, that's her signature look. So this is her modern mask, and as you can see, very intricate detailing right there. I like the way they took advantage of the face print deco, because in the comics, her mask has very intricate details, so I feel like the face print deco really got it right. I don't think without that kind of technology, they would have nailed it here. And this is a full mask. Yes, it has some of her skin tone, so you get those two pointy angles right there, and then it fades and blends into her skin tone at the bottom. This is really nice. Yeah, I like the all white pupils, the dark lipstick, even the hair came out really nice and stringy. That's dope. For the rest of the body, she's on the female shield agent buck, so you can tell by the harness that goes on her back and around the shoulders here, and the zipper line. You get nice gold accents here, which is really nice. The paint job is crisp and clean, no complaints on mine. And they did fix the torso here because in the promo images, I don't know if you remember, it was like a black torso, but it's supposed to be white to match the comic look, so they did fix that, and I'm happy to see that. Mainly a white plastic mold, and you have the paint right over it, but it's pretty crisp. You get one new layer here, and that's this belt piece. They did get one thing wrong on this costume though, and she's not supposed to have all white hands. She's supposed to have the white fingered gloves, so her fingers are supposed to match the black costume. So yeah, they should have painted the fingers here in black. So that is the only thing they got wrong. And yeah, it's a really nice design all around. I'm not going to go over articulation because you already know how this buck works, but I will say the biggest missed opportunity is not putting her on the upgraded female torso so she could have the double diaphragm joint and the butterfly joints, because Madam Masque is one of the most agile female characters in Marvel. So big missed opportunity. I hope when they give us her classic comic version that they indeed give us the upgraded torso. But to kick off accessories, they did indeed give us the classic Madam Masque head sculpt. So it is a good substitute for now until they, whenever they give us a classic version, hopefully soon, this will at least be a good substitute. The mask came out beautiful, and it is on that plastic metallic molding that they usually do, but for some reason it looks really, really good for this figure, and it just, damn, it came out really, really nice. I'm in love with this head sculpt. Always love the way she looks. Damn, I want to draw her, man. I want to get back into drawing. She has such a great look. But look at the hair sculpt right there. They kind of made it wavy. She still has that nice stringy type of hair. It just looks really good. Like, I can't tell you this isn't Madam Masque because this sure as hell is. I think the true beauty of this figure is how reflective the mask is. It highlights the figure itself. It's freaking dope, man. Like, one thing I really like is that it's a separate layer. It's not just painted over or anything like that. So as you can see, it's a separate layer, and you can see the bolts right there on top of the forehead where the Widow Peak meets. So really, really nice work here. So yeah, my eyes are really glued to this head sculpt, and look at how they did the eyes. All white pupils. They even painted metallic gold for the lipstick. Like, that is freaking nice. Yeah, they really killed it with this head sculpt. She has 2 trigger hands to hold her guns, one of them being a silencer and an all gold deco, and she also has smoke effects to plug through the guns. And you also get the 2 muzzle effects to plug into the guns as well. Then lastly, she has her briefcase that has the AIM logo on it, which is really nice paint deco, as well as having a stash of money inside of them if you open it. So you can also remove that as well if you want to count it as a separate accessory and, you know, place it somewhere if you're doing action figure photography or something like that. But the print on this is really nice. So they did put some effort on the paint with the accessories of this briefcase. And if you want to store something else in there other than the stash of money, you can store in her guns. You could just put the silencer right there, angle it like so it could fit, and then the other one, and boom, you know, just giving you ideas to play with. I know it's weird to mix classic with modern sometimes, but the classic head on this modern costume really adds a lot to it. They did strike out not giving her the upgraded torso, but Hasbro gave her 11 accessories total to try and make up for it. This figure has some standout features to appreciate. I'm rating Madam Masque an 8 out of 10. Alright, so it's been about 5 years since we got a Crossbones figure in the Marvel Legends line. The last one was based off his classic look, and that was in the Black Widow Wave Crimson Dynamo Build-A-Figure series. So yeah, we're going to go over this look because it is based off the Ed Brubaker's Captain America Out of Time run in the early or mid-2000s, I should say, issue number 4. And I'm going to leave this guy off to the side, and I'll put a panel image for you on the right side so you can see the comparison. It's almost an identical match, so keep in mind that Marvel Legends Hasbro team, they like to mix and match some parts from comics in different mediums, like the Odin figure, for example, how that was influenced off the Bowen design statue, and they just mix and match other parts with that. But as you can see, it's almost identical. You got the gray shirt and the gray pants. Keep in mind, the shirt is longer in the comics, is up to his elbows. Here is short because they're going off the Luke Cage body. But yeah, you get the gray pants. You get the armored knee pads. It should be metallic silver here. You get the tactical boots, even the holster, the gun holster right here on the right side. And the easiest way to identify it is the Crossbones logo right there. The very little tiny Crossbones logo in the middle of the vest at the very bottom. It matches up, so that is like the easiest way you could tell, you know, these guys' gloves, the mask is identical and stuff like that. So I could definitely see them reusing this again and do a redeco in the Thunderbolts colors and scheme. So yeah, he's an awesome looking figure. I like this color scheme a lot. I like the gray. Gray is one of my favorite colors. So the mixture with the gray and the black, it just looks so cool. So yeah, let's take a closer look at this guy. Here's a look at the head sculpt, and this is an all new head sculpt. You can see how they formed the mask here, and the mask is sculpted. Like, you see the white parts, the trimming around it. It's all sculpted. Even this part of the mouth, the nose, all that, it's all sculpted, which is nice all around. Look at that, and you can see the tiny little like wrinkled seams along the lines right there. It's so nice. The paint on mine, it could have been better. You know, it's a little splotchy in some areas, but it could have been so much worse. So it's not too bad. And the vest right here, the tactical vest, this is a new layer. Lots of texture detailing, seeing a lot of straps there, and it's really, really cool. And there is some paint too with the added layers, so you get like this gunmetal color right there on the buttons, and then the Crossbones logo right there is painted, so you can see that. And these bullet capsules too, they painted that as well in gold. Not much else. The grenades, they're not painted, they're just there in like a green plastic color. Would have been nice if he actually came with a grenade. You know, there's his sheath right there, so you could store his knife. We'll get to accessories in a bit. Just admiring this, the gun strap, gun holster, thigh strap right there. These are new hands too, so that's really cool. I like that they gave them new hands. You see some, you know, seams and such like that. They look like baseball gloves at first glance. And you got the armored knee pads. They are reusing the Hercules legs here, and I don't mind that. It kind of goes with the look, even though I feel like it could have used a little bit more bulk, you know. But it's not that bad on him. It just has the pins. That's the one thing I wish they did, was retool the legs to pinless at least, because my one problem with this figure is the gummy ass legs, man. I mean, they're gummy. And even just trying to do a slight wide stance like this, you can see the legs come together like so. They just, I can't stand that in figures when that happens. But yeah, this part of the leg is very, very gummy. Boots right there, so lots of detailing. And I really like the detailing that they've been doing on some of these comic figures. The laces, you know, the threads, it's all dope. I like it. I dig it. Now for accessories, you already saw his fist as a set of hands, and he also has trigger hands to go with that, and that matches the sculpt of the fist. So new sculpted hands here, and two handguns that have been reused from the likes of the Inner Demons and the Shield Agents. And I also have the smoke effects plugged into them, because that and the muzzle effects from Madam Masque are a shared accessory here. The handguns are different. As you can see, this one has an extended magazine in red, and you could put whichever one you want, and you could store that on his gun holster right here on the thigh strap. He also has a combat knife with a nice metallic deco, and you can store that right here into the sheath like so, and that way you can equip him properly. And he does come with a grenade explosion effect, which you've seen come with Punisher in the War Journal 2-pack. I do like the 2-pack effect more, just because it's a lot brighter. There's some paint detailing with a slight overspray, so that's cool. And it has the grenade shrapnels painted, where this doesn't. And I think the biggest bummer here is that they painted white inside, so that completely blocks illumination for any toy photographers. I like this one because, you know, it's all clear, and you could put a light underneath it and it will really pop in photography. But this is a complete waste and a dumbass decision, because I would have rather have seen this paint be to use towards this pack or something else. But as I mentioned earlier, they should have given him a grenade accessory, just because, I mean, he has grenades here. I have the one from the Punisher War Journal 2-pack, so there's that. And also, I wish he had a grenade holding hand, just like that Punisher did, and an actual knife holding hand for his knife. So yeah, that's a few things I would have added to this figure in terms of accessories. And lastly, he has his AR with a red mag deco that kind of matches this handgun right here. Again, another gun reused from the Shield Agents, Inner Demons, and all that. But I wish they gave him something more unique to him. Like, I like the Walmart Crossbones rifle that came with the Hydra logo. Like, this would have been something better. Like, give him something unique. Yeah, I think this rifle from the Ares Build-A-Figure wave that came with that Crossbones works better with this Crossbones figure than the rifle that they gave him. So, I'm going to stick with this. Alright, let's go over articulation. I thought this big tactical vest was going to hinder his neck articulation, but it really doesn't. It's on a ball joint, and he can move it up really far. Yeah, there's a bit of a gap there, but, you know, I was just more worried about the vest hindering the movement there. So, I mean, you could push it down and, you know, just kind of get rid of that gap little by little. So, it still works for me, in my opinion. He does look a good amount down, left, right, And he has some great head tilting right there. That's really cool. It rocks around. His arms move that far up, so higher than a straight T pose, which is cool. You got the butterfly joints, which is good. I'm happy they reused the Luke Cage upper body for this. It works. And, you know, you got your bicep swivel. You got the double jointed elbows and wrist swivel, wrist hinge, horizontal hinge on this, the vertical hinge on the trigger hands. The ab crunch moves about that far forward, so you do get some crunch right there despite how big the vest is, and you get it back about that much. So yeah, not bad right there, not bad. Waist swivel right here. You got the legs that spread that far apart. They kick up about that high, kick that far back. You could get a full frontward split. Legs rock around. You got the thigh swivel, double jointed knees, no heel to the crossbones butt. You have the boot swivel right here, and his ankles do move up and down, and they do have a nice pivot all around. Hasbro's kit bashing style, made to mix up with some new parts, gave us a great Crossbones from the 2000s. They could have given us a little more accessories to make him feel like a deluxe in this pack, but they gave us a generous amount, including 7 accessories total. He's a damn good and fun figure, and a much needed upgrade of the character for the shelf. I'm scoring Crossbones an 8.5 out of 10. By the way, this Madam Masque version goes best with this modern Iron Man from Invincible Iron Man back in 2015. And yeah, these two have a long love history with each other. I mean, they were very much in love with each other, but yeah, a hero and villain romance, yeah, it's a recipe for disaster. That'll never work out. They'll end up killing each other. But you know what? Not any different from a married couple. So yeah, they could have found a way to make it work out. And here is her daddy, Count Nefaria, so that way you can have the father-daughter duel. And here I have Crossbones next to some Hydra bosses, and he's really big, man. I love his stature. It's great. Alright, now to wrap things up, my final rating as a collective, I'm going to score this 2-pack an 8.25 out of 10. Getting 2 decorated Marvel villains in 1 pack is a treat. This Super Villains 2-pack is way better than the Super Villains 2-pack last year of Zemo and Zola. I feel a lot more is offered with this pack in comparison. 18 accessories in total, which gives you so much play value to enjoy. It's no doubt in my mind that Madam Masque is in top contention to be in my top 10 female Marvel Legends of the year. I feel she needed the upgraded torso, so I hope that the classic Madam Masque will have that. I mean, the deluxe Black Widow torso is right there. All they'll need to do is give her a new upper torso, since she doesn't have an open collar like Black Widow does. She has that zipper that's all the way up to her neck. But I'm happy that we get this modern version so I can put on my AIM shelf, because my AIM shelf needs bolstering by adding some heavy hitters. Then whenever I get a classic version, I can put that on my Iron Man shelf. Or if I want to, Masters of Evil. I think Hasbro finally found their Crossbones. Sure, there are a few flaws that come with it, but even with its flaws, it far exceeds its predecessors in the line. I'm impressed with how they made this look like a brand new figure with recycled parts. The less is more model worked here because the little added newly parts made it super effective in execution. There's a lot to admire between the two here. I'll take Madam Masque any day, but I thought a Crossbones with a Sin figure 2-pack would have made more sense, because it's funny to me that they packed in Madam Masque with a Hydra character, as she absolutely hates Hydra with a passion. So it's as if we got a Villains versus pack, and I don't think we've ever gotten anything quite like that. I kind of like that. I wouldn't mind this Super Villains 2-pack trend being a yearly thing if it gives us things like this one does. It's a great pack, and if you love collecting villains, then this is one I highly recommend you pick up. Now I kick it back to you. What do you think of this Super Villains 2-pack? Are you happier with these Crossbones and Madam Masque versions over their classic renditions? Which Villains Duel 2-pack should be next? I say Thanos with Death or Enchantress with Executioner, but you tell me. Comment below, let me know, we'll chat about it. Thanks for watching another Marvel Legends review. Please follow me on Instagram if you haven't already at xman87. Hit the notification bell so you always know when my latest videos are up. Share and subscribe if you're new. See you on the next review. Peace, peace.